The mystical poet believes or knows that we're in the midst of some enormous creative energy that makes 300 billion galaxies and these flowers and the people in a restaurant. The unbelievable variety and energy going on all the time. We're in the midst of it.
Well, I remember ages ago having a talk to somebody who was a researcher in an arcane field in physics, and we discovered that we thought that I as a comedy writer and he as a research physicist did a very similar job, because there's something that we both do, which is sifting through all the sort of data, all the information, all the ideas, trying to find things that unexpectedly correlate from here to here, correspondences that are completely unexpected. And this is certainly what you do in comedy writing. You're trying to see things by shifting some perspective, shifting some variable somewhere that suddenly makes two things that were apparently completely unalike suddenly appear to be alike, and appear to be alike because in some fundamental way they are.
Our minds very naturally segue into transcendence. We constantly have ideas and experiences that go beyond what we can say or know. Most often these are expressed in art, in painting, in music. Music every day confronts us with a form of knowing that doesn't depend on words. You know how it is in the symphony. When you're listening to the symphony, the last notes die away, and there's often a beat of silence in the auditorium before the applause begins, a very full and pregnant silence. Oh. Now, theology should bring us to live into that silence, into that pregnant pause.
There's something I recognize about religion that us evangelical atheists haven't really grappled with yet, which is that it gives people a chance to surrender. What religion says to you, essentially, is you're not in control. Now, that's a very liberating idea. It's quite a frightening idea as well in some ways, but everything else in a consumer society is essentially trying to say to you, you're in control.
It's the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is 42. And the big issue is, therefore, what is the question? And all I can say is that in a quantum universe, it's impossible to know both the question and the answer.
What do we really want when we love a river or a grandchild? You know, there's something that doesn't ever get solved in being human. I feel that with my sons. You know, that I can never say how much I love them. You know, there's some longing that just never gets satisfied or expressed, or you never paint the picture or write the poem, you know, that you wanted to write.
And it was in that silence that the Brahman was present. The Brahman was not present in the wordy definitions. It was present only in the stunning realization of the impotence of speech. And Christian, Jewish, and Muslim theologians all developed similar disciplines, similar rituals to help people realize that when we talk about God, we are at the end of what words and thoughts can do. Nowadays, we've forgotten all about that. We talk about God as though he was like a boss or somebody. We ask him to bless our nation, or save our queen, or give us a fine day for the picnic. We expect him to be on our side in an election or a war, even though our opponents are also God's children. We think about God far too easily. That's because of a lot of social, intellectual and scientific changes that have taken place in the Western world, and that has made God very problematic for a lot of people.
Surrendering, of course, is something that humans used to have to do all the time. They couldn't control anything. They were at the mercy of the elements, of the other animals, at the mercy of everything, at the mercy of their health, which they couldn't do much about. So we've got into the mode of thinking that says we can control everything, but we manifestly can't. We can control a lot more than we used to be able to. But we really ought to be also prepared for this state of mind that says, I'm not in control and I like it.